All right, so I get this question a lot. Well, or it's come up in discussion, is should we submit our training partner during every roll? Are we obligated to submit our training partner? And in my opinion, we are not obligated. You don't have to submit your training partner. You can work more on your control. You could work more on your defense. You could be more experimental, and it might not always lead to submitting your partner. Many times when I'm rolling with a blue belt that's, pretty good, but he never passed my guard before, if I let him start in side control, all of a sudden I come to the realization that, I'm having trouble getting out. So now I can get to work my escapes. Maybe by the end of the round I don't get a submission, but, I don't keep score of that. Now, one of my classmates, I'm not going to mention any names, Gil, said that he does keep track of when he gets submitted or when he submits somebody. And I think that's a good way to drive yourself crazy. Because again, rolling is experimental for the most part, and it's not the truest assessment of your skill if you're going to count it, on points and on how many submissions you got. I could roll with somebody and within the first 5 to 10 seconds have a good idea if I'm better than them or not, just off the way they feel. So I just wanted to touch base on that. I think that it's important to learn how to control your partner. It's more important to learn how to control them than to actually submit them. Like, I wouldn't be diving for a submission. Usually if I submit somebody, it's because they walked right into it. So I'm not trying to, but if they're playing a good defensive game, if you've seen many rounds on the channel I've had with different people where I haven't submitted them. Now, if I wanted to turn it up to 100% and use a lot of athleticism and explosiveness and, yeah, maybe I could have. But I feel like you sharpen the blade better by going easier, doing as much as you can with the most leverage that you can. Then you could always add that aggression later. So do you have to submit your opponent? Your opponent, your classmate, right? If you're rolling, your partner. I say no. You could play defensively. You don't have to submit them. You should want them to work, because if they work and you give them time to think, like sometimes I'll give somebody, they say it's like chess, but chess, you go move for move. One guy moves, the other person moves. In jiu-jitsu, you can do 10 moves in a row before your partner thinks of one move, right? I could be so far ahead of him, but if I just slow it down and give him a chance to think of what he wants to do next, really let him think, instead of keeping somebody in panic mode where they're just surviving, they're so worried about getting submitted, where with me, I'll just go limp. Sometimes people say, oh, what happened? Is everything okay? I'm like, yeah, I just want to see what you're going to do, and then react from that. So it helps sharpen me, and it helps people, find their way in jiu-jitsu. In the early stages, you don't really know what you're going for. So you just keep exploding. You keep trying to outsmart your classmate with speed of thought. But really, that's when you need to slow it down the most. As a more skilled practitioner, someone who's been doing it for a while, it's much easier for me to slow down my thought. But in the beginning, it's hard. And you think you're slowing your thoughts down, and they're still, so now you went from 100 miles an hour to 98 miles an hour. So you're still not really slowing down. So it's good to just slow down to 60 miles an hour and really think about the next move. But if I'm not doing anything, then you could slow down to as slow as you have to go to see what you want to do next. So, should you submit your opponent? Not necessarily. That's my thought on the topic. And, if you find value in my content, you want to help support the channel, I have an X-Marshall link in the description. Anything you buy over there, if you use code JITSOver50, is 15% off. And I also have a Buy Me a Coffee link. But thank you for watching. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have a channel. Please like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe.